Today's yoga sequence is going to be focused on how we can rehabilitate a sprained ankle, more specifically an inversion sprain. So, Carly, I need you to come onto your back, please. Excellent. So, we want to be breathing nice and deeply throughout the practice. So, arms at your side, just take a few deep breaths here, just 2 deep belly breaths. So, feeling the belly rise and fall. Excellent. Okay, and then I'm just going to give you your strap. I'd like you to pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then just take the strap and strap it around the ball of the right foot. Awesome. And then straighten the right leg up towards the sky, using the strap to stretch out the hamstrings. And you can keep your left leg straight or you can bend it. Awesome. So while you're here, focusing on lengthening up the hamstrings, I also want you to think about pointing your toes towards the ceiling and then flexing them towards your face, and then circling out the ankle, just bringing every range of motion to the ankle here. So we're warming up the joint and the surrounding muscles. And remembering to breathe nice and deeply, and you can switch directions with that. Excellent. And if there's any pain at all, you're going to back off. Excellent. Okay, and we can switch legs when you're ready. So this practice we want to incorporate into the subacute to chronic stage of healing. Same thing, Carly. Excellent. And you don't want to begin any extra yoga or any other exercise modality until you get confirmation and clearance from your RMT or a physiotherapist, whoever you're working with. Okay, let's take 2 more breaths here, everyone. Excellent. Okay, very nice. You can release that, Carly. And then just bring your hands behind your knees. And you're just going to rock along your spine, slowly coming up to a seated position when you're ready. Awesome. Okay, and then coming to a cross-legged position here. So sitting cross-legged like this is already going to bring your foot into inversion. So it's already going to be putting a little bit of pressure on those lateral ligaments. So if this is enough for you and you're feeling something here, then you can stay here. If you want to do a little bit more, what you can do, start to round your body, bring your chest forward and rounding your back. Breathing as you move. Okay, and you can switch directions with that. Awesome. Okay, and then coming back up to seated, nice and tall. Let's just place our left hand beside our hip. And then reach your right arm overhead for a nice side stretch. Breathing nice and deeply into the right side of the body here, feeling a lot of length. Take 1 more breath in, really reach, and then stay for the exhale. Beautiful, let's come back up, inhaling, and exhale over to the other side. Nice deep breaths. Try to keep your left hip rooted down to the mat here. Take 1 more breath. Stay for the exhale, and let's come back up to center. Okay, so from here we're going to come forward onto our hands and knees, and we're going to come into a downward facing dog. And you can do this by rolling over the knees. If that's too much for you, Carly will demonstrate that. If that's too much for you, you can bring your knees out to the side. Awesome. Okay. So coming into a downward facing dog, planting your hands down nice and firmly, and lifting your hips up towards the sky. Beautiful. Okay. So while you're here, you can work the backs of the legs a little bit more by pedaling out the knees, so bending one knee and then the other. You can do this a little bit slower, using your breath. So we're stretching out our calf muscles, specifically the gastrocs and the soleus, which are our 2 calf muscles, along with all the other muscles that bring mobility into the ranges of our ankle. Okay, let's just take 2 more breaths here. 1 more full inhale, and a full exhale. Awesome. So Carly, what I want you to do is look between your hands here, and then you're going to step forward to the front of your mat. You can take a few steps, or you can even try hopping, which Carly did here. And then stay in a forward fold. Just hang out. Rock from side to side. Beautiful, you can bend your knees if you need to. Okay. And then from here, let's just bring turn our hands onto our legs and walk ourselves all the way up to stand. Awesome. So one thing that's really important with rehabilitating an ankle sprain is introducing some proprioceptive exercises. So one thing that's really, really good to do is balancing. So if your balance is a little bit off, and it probably will be after your ankle sprain, you can come over to a wall or a pole or grab onto a chair and practice these there, or you can stay exactly where you are on your mat. So we're going to start with a tree pose, and there's 3 different modifications that we're going to show you. So I like to start with my hands on my hips. We'll start with our uninjured leg first, just to get the flow of it, the feeling of it. So I'm going to start with my left leg. So you can bring your right foot as a kickstand. That's the first option for this. The second option, to make it a little bit more challenging, would be to bring your foot onto your calf. We don't want to put pressure on the knee, so if you're going to stay there, or bring your foot into the inside of the thigh, which is the most challenging version. I'll just stay with the middle version, okay? So breathing nice and deeply here. You can do whatever you want with your arms. You can keep them here to add a bit of challenge. You can bring them to your heart, or you can reach your arms up overhead. Okay, so just breathing, finding something to stare at in the room will help with your balance. And if you fall out of it, don't worry, just come back into it. And I would stay for, let's stay for 3 more breaths. Good job. And one more full breath. Beautiful, and then bringing your knee back forward and down. And you can just wiggle that out. And then coming to the injured foot. So again, starting with maybe just the kickstand, and you can even try lifting the toes up, or you can bring your foot to your calf, the inside of it, or to the inside of your thigh. Okay, and get your balance, use your breath, and don't worry if you fall out of it. As you practice this, you'll slowly get better. You will slowly not need the wall, and you'll build strength in the injured joint. Okay, so again, let's take 4 breaths. Maybe this time you bring your arms overhead. Using your belly to breathe, using your diaphragm. Take 1 more breath. Beautiful. Bring your hands back down, knee forward and down, and then wiggle that out. Okay, we're going to just do 1 more challenging balancing posture. This is called toppling tree. Okay, and if tree pose was tough for you, then just stick with the last balancing pose that we've done and progress from there on your own. Okay, so you're going to, again, I like to bring my hands to my hips. Again, starting with the uninjured leg, I think is best. So I'll start with my left leg, and then just slowly starting to lift the right toes back and off the floor. And you might stay here. You may be able to bring your leg even higher, and as your leg lifts, probably exactly just like that, start to topple over. Try to keep the right hip or the lifted hip, even with the opposite hip, so you're not opening up, you're staying nice and even. So the opposite glutes are staying strong here and engaged. You can bring your hands to your heart if you prefer. And then just take a peek down and look at your foot and notice all the little small movements that are happening here. You can stay. That's a nice rehab for the proprioceptors in your foot. So let's take 1 more breath here. Nice work. And as you exhale, you can come back up. And then we'll do the other side again. So Carly, just shaking it out. And when you're ready, weight bearing on the injured leg, taking your time here, and then slowly lifting the foot up when you're ready. And then as that leg lifts, your chest will start to come forward. And exactly, if you fall out, it's no big deal. Just come right back into it. Really nice. Okay, just take 2 breaths. And nice and slowly come back up again. Really good job. Shake out the ankles. And you can do that a few different times. You can do this sequence over and over again. We're just going to finish off with a nice Shavasana. So just bring your arms up overhead, take a big breath in, and exhale, fold forward. Awesome. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Beautiful. And then you can come down onto your hands and knees, Carly, and you can make your way onto your back. Breathing into the belly. So a little bit more into your belly than your chest. Feel the belly rise up towards the sky. Yes, that's much better. Awesome. So everyone at home, make sure you take the time to close off your practice with some meditation and some breathing. And happy healing. Namaste.